Hi, friends. It is time for another story time. And I'm here with some of my favorite stuffies to get started on this story. Are you ready? Let's begin. This story is called A House is a House for Me. This book is written by Marianne Hoberman and is illustrated by Betty Fraser. Let's begin the story, friends. A house is a house for me. A hill is a house for an ant. An ant. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a mole or a mouse. So friends, we have so many different types of homes going on over here. This hill is a home for the ants. This beehive is where all the bees live and make their honey. And this hole is a house for a mole and a mouse. So many homes within a close proximity. And friends, are you listening for some rhyming words? Keep listening closely. I think you're going to find many more rhyming words. A house is a house for me. A web is a house for a spider. A bird built a nest in a tree. There is nothing so snug as a bug in a rug. Friends, look, just in this tree house, we have so many homes for so many different creatures. So here's where the spider lives. Here's where the bird is taking care of the eggs. And let's see if we can find the rug with the bug. So this rug might be somewhere in the tree house, and this bug is living right there. And then these friends are making a house out of cardboard boxes. A coop, that's a house for a chicken. A sty, that's a house for a sow. A fold, that's where all the sheep gather to sleep. A barn, that's a house for a cow. Moo. It is also, of course, a house for a horse. Whoa, friends, so many different homes in this farm. So here we have a coop. That's where all the chickens live. And here's a sty for the pigs. That's where the piggies live. And a fold, that's where all the sheep go to sleep. And look, here's a big barn that houses a cow and a horse. Wait a minute. Somewhere near this barn has to be a house where the farmer lives too, right, friends? So many homes. A kennel's a house for a dog. A dog. A dog is a house for a flea. Uh-oh, fleas usually make doggies very itchy, but fleas love to live on the poor doggies. That's why this doggy scratching his or herself. Uh-oh. But when a dog strays, a flea sometimes stays. And then it may move on to me. Uh-oh. So the flea might jump off as the dog is scratching onto me. Oh no. And this boy is singing, my dog has a flea, flea, flea. And now it's on me, me, me. Houses for rabbits are hutches. A house for a mule is a shed. A castle's a house for a duchess. A bedbug beds down in a bed. Here we have so many rabbits in a hutch. And then here's a shed with a mule. And then here on the bed, there's a lot of bed bugs. Uh-oh. Mosquitoes like mud holes and puddles. Whales need the ocean or sea. A fish or a snake may make do with a lake. But a house is a house for me. And this friend is at the beach, and it looks like she made a home out of so many materials. She used shells. She used her beach umbrella. She might have used some of the plants that grow on the ocean. I see some sea stars and a horseshoe crab. Whoa! A shell is a dwelling for a shellfish, from oysters and lobsters and clams. Each snail has a shell, and each turtle as well. But no, but not any lions or lambs. Lions live out in the open. Monkeys live up in a tree. Hippos live down on the river. Now, what do you know about me? So, friends, there are so many animals here. Some of them are living up in the trees, like the monkeys. The lions are out in the open looking for prey. The hippos are relaxing in the river. And some friends, such as lobsters, clams, and oysters, and turtles, have a shell, and that itself, it's a home for them. So many cool things going on. An igloo is a house for an Eskimo. And the Eskimos actually lived in places that are very, very cold, such as Alaska, Canada, and Greenland. And in those places, it gets really, really cold rather quickly. So sometimes when they go out in the open and they're not near their house, they need to find shelter because they may be far away from their homes. So they make these igloos out of snow, really hard snow. They get bricks of snow and they stack them on top of each other so they can get shelter for the night. Let's see this one. A teepee is a house for a Cree. The Cree are indigenous people who mostly resided in Canada, and they made teepees. So teepees were made out of tree saplings. And a tree sapling is a very young tree with a tree trunk that is kind of flexible. So here they are the tree saplings. It's really cool about teepees. They were kind of like tents. They were meant to be easily folded so you can take them on to another place. And a pueblo is a house for the Hopi. And the Hopi are indigenous people who lived in Arizona. And friends, the Hopi people made their homes out of clay. So where they lived, they had a lot of clay and they used it to make their homes. And since they lived in big communities, you can see that it was a big, big, big structure. So you can see that many of them had multiple levels. So this one might have had like 1 or 2 or even 3 levels. That's why you see there are some ladders so you can go from one level to the other. So they built this really, really giant structure out of clay. And here's another one. This is a wigwam that might hold a mohi. And these round circular homes were made out of tree bark and also tree trunks. So somehow they were able to curve the tree trunks, and they also used tree bark to keep these homes very sturdy, to make sure no water could get in, and to keep you nice and cozy, friends. So people use the resources of the places where they live to make their homes. A garage is a house for a car or a truck. And this blue car lives in this garage. A hangar is a house for a plane. And here is where after a plane has been flying from one place to another, it finally goes to get some rest at the hangar. A dock or a slip is a house for a ship. After a ship has navigated the water or the ocean, it finally gets to rest on the dock. And a terminal is a house for a train. After the train has made it through all the stops, it can finally rest at the terminal. A husk is a house for a corn ear. A pod is a place for a pea. And a nutshell is a hut for a hickory nut. But what is a shelter for me? And friends, here we have the husks are the leaves that cover the corn. And the pod is what covers the peas. And a nutshell is what covers the nut. What did these friends use to make a home for themselves? If you notice, they made a home out of a table, and a tablecloth. So they're under there and they're reading a book. And friends, it looks like this home is also for a home for many stuffies and dolls and cars. A glove is a house for a hand. A hand. A stocking's a house for a knee. A shoe or a boot is a house for a foot. And a house is a house for me. And friends, while this friend is shoveling the snow, what do you notice? Who is living under here? Under here, you can see that two chipmunks and a mouse are hibernating. A box is a house for a tea bag. A teapot's a house for tea. If you pour me a cup and I drink it all up, then the tea house will turn into me. So friends, if you drink some tea, then the home of the tea will be you. So many cool things going on. These friends are having a tea party. Cartons are houses for crackers. Castles are houses for kings. The more that I think about houses, the more things are houses for things. There is a lot of homes going on here, such as boxes, such as castles, and over here, I noticed that some birdies live in cages, or these cats live in the castle. And if you get started in thinking, I think you will find it's true. The more that you think about houses for things, the more things are houses to you. So let's see some of the examples that this friend is dreaming about in this hammock. So he's dreaming of an eggshell being a house for a chick. He's also thinking that a baseball glove is a house for a baseball, or that a grocery bag is a home for groceries, or that the pouch is a home for the baby kangaroo. There are so many different homes that he's dreaming about. Barrels are houses for pickles, and bottles are homes for jam. A pot is a spot for potatoes. A sandwich is home for some ham. So here is this friend. She looks like she might be shopping, and she's noticing there is a lot of homes for many different types of food, such as pickles are living in a barrel. You notice the potatoes are living in the pot, and the jam is living in a jar. And I notice this looks like candy. This candy is living in this big jar. And here's a dog and a cat, and it looks like they're living in the shop. The cookie jar's home to the cookies. The bread box is home to the bread. My coat is a house for my body, and my hat is a house for my head. So many homes that we wouldn't have thought of, such as a cookie jar, a bread box, your coat, or your hat. Perhaps I have started far-fetching. Perhaps I am stretching some things. A mirror is a house for reflections. My throat is a house for a hum. But once you started thinking, you think and you think and you think. How pockets are houses for pennies and pens are houses for ink. Whoa. How peaches are houses for peach pits, and here it is. And inside the pit, it actually has a little seed that if you put it on the ground, it will eventually grow into a peach tree. And sometimes our house is for worms. Sometimes the peaches are not so good. So worms might make those peaches their home and eat whatever's inside there. How trash cans are houses for garbage. Woo! And garbage makes houses for germs. Uh-oh. And envelopes, earmuffs, and eggshells, and bathrobes, and baskets, and bins. and rag bags and rubbers and roasters and tablecloths, toasters and tins. So many different things. And once you get started in thinking this way, it seems that whatever you see is either a house or it lives in a house. And a house is a house for me. And you know, this friend is right. Many of these things either are a house or live in a house. So a tent can potentially be a house, right? Or let's see what else. Or this teddy bear, it might live in a house. Or let's see, or those shoes might live in a box. So many things are either a house or live in a house. A book is a house for a story. A rose is a house for smell. My head is a house for a secret I will never tell. A flower is a home in a garden. A donkey is a home in a stall. Each creature has known a house of its own. So friends, all the creatures that we see over here have a home somewhere in the world. And the earth is a house for us all. And friends, that is very true. All of us creatures in this earth have something in common. We all live in this earth. Friends, I hope you enjoy the story, and we learn that there are so many different types of houses. Not only houses or apartments or townhouses. No, we're talking about other places that can be houses for things or houses for animals. So look at some of the things that you might have in your house and try to figure out whether it is a house for something or if it lives in a house. So let me give you an example. I have this tissue box, and this tissue box is a house for tissues. So try to look for some things that you might have in your house and try to figure out, is it a house or does it live in a house? All right, friends, till next time, bye.